lovelies, my name is Jessica and welcome to makeup.misfit and welcome to day 2, the second part of my collection and inventory series. Today we are chatting about face palettes. Yesterday I had my singles for my blushes, bronzers, and highlighters, and that also included a couple of liquid products. Today, everything that is considered a duo and more, I throw into my face palette category. So this is what we're going to talk about today. Like I said, yesterday you would have seen the others, the singles. Even if it's considered a split pan, but it's in like one pan, I consider that a single. So today, anything that has 2 separate pans or more are going to be chatted about. So let's just dive in, no particular order. I do have a total of 24 face palettes. I don't think I need this many. I would like to eventually, cut them down. I don't necessarily like to declutter things all of the time, so I don't. But I would prefer to use them up. But these take a lot of time. So we'll have to see what happens, see how long I have 24 items in my collection, in my face palette collection for. But we're gonna start off with one that I am currently using the bronzer out of. And this is a Sephora Trio. Now, I ended up taking the bronzer out of here and repressed it into a larger single pan. I did chat about this very, very briefly, I think, yesterday, saying that you guys would see it today. I kind of am down to the point where I'm like hate banning this thing. But this is honestly all that's left. And there is still stuff that's coming up. And it is just not my color, I think. And that's why I'm not really enjoying it so much. I didn't mind it at first. I don't think it was ever really my color. It's not like I'm just noticing that now, but there's just something about it and I feel like it's not going anywhere, even though it clearly is. I feel like it's not. So besides this bronzer, it comes with a contour and a highlight. The contour has a nice dip in it. If I can open up the packaging, maybe I'll show you. Maybe, there we go. So you can see, I think you can see on camera, you can actually kind of see the rings popping out through the packaging or through the product there. So you can see it more in person for sure. I have not used the highlighter at all, but I do want to eventually hit pan on here. I don't contour, so that's why I just never really reach for it or think about it, but I was kind of trying to for a little bit after I got this. So that's why I have some usage on this contour. I threw it into a panning project and just got my uses on it that way. So these two are one, so we have that one down. Then I'm working on this Jouer. It's the Rose Cut Gems palette. This is my Pan That Face palette for this year. I will really show you guys what it looks like because there really isn't going to be much of a visual change in this palette. It does have the 6 blushes and this little cheek topper kind of highlight thing here. I really do enjoy this though. I have been really, really liking this. I've been wearing this every single day, pairing it with other blushes. If you watch that update, you'll know I chat about that. So I'm happy with the progress that I've been making on this, but just happy with these blushes in general. Let's pull these a little closer. I have a ABH blush kit. This is in the shade Radiance, or the palette name Radiance. So this was the all pink one. I remember there being an all purple and not being into it, but now I wish I had it. But I really do like these. I do tend to pair a couple of these together. This is more like my go-to out of this palette. Again, I haven't reached for this palette in a very long time, but I really did like reaching for this shade. But yeah, a part of me wishes I did have that purple version of it. Next, I have this by NARS, and I'm not even really going to try and pronounce the name, Board de Plague. I know I'm saying that wrong, but that's okay. This comes with 4 highlighters and 2 bronzers. Now, this highlighter is absolutely beautiful along with this one here. I don't know, maybe I'll try it in the summertime. I think that this one might be a little bit too dark for me. That's why I haven't really used it. I've gotten a lot of use on these two though. These two, not so much. This is the shade Laguna, and then this one down here is called Casino. So I think this one's a little bit too deep for me. So I don't know if I'm even going to try reaching for it. But I do have my Laguna bronzer here, and then 4 other blushes. So we have, what did I say? This is Casino. So this is Gallet Corniche, Riviage, which I may have had a duplicate of, and this one called Cirque, I believe. And then, yeah, Laguna. So that is this palette, which I haven't reached for a long time either. I kind of want to get back into that. This one I tried, I believe it was last year, to use for a little bit as my That Face palette. I ended up just kind of playing around a few palettes, but I think this was kind of what I was aiming for in the beginning, and I just never really got the love that I wanted to on it. I had a bit of a hard time reaching for this. Yeah, so this is what it looks like. So there's those 4 shades. This one's really pretty. It's got that like duochrome to it. But that is this palette right here. So I don't know what I'm going to do with this palette, but we'll just have to wait and see. And then I have 2 of the glow kits, the original glow kits from ABH. This one I have had, like I purchased this when this first came out, and it looks like it's breaking apart on me right now. Oh my God. I did not even notice that. I might have to do something. These are those 4 shades right here. So we have Starburst, Golden Bronze, Dripping in Gold, and Bubbly. And I remember one of my friends at the time was like, I think it was these 2. If you mix them together, it was like super pretty. So that's what I ended up doing. I might have to, because these do come out, they are magnetic and you can see the little things in here. I might actually have to pop these out because this packaging is getting like insane. I never noticed that before. I don't think it was like that. So that is that one. And then this one I got more recently. I purchased this one at Winners, and this is in Sugar. I don't think this is necessarily the original packaging, but that's okay. I really like it. So we have, this packaging is still okay. But we have these 4 here. So we have Gumdrop, nope, this is Marshmallow, Gumdrop, Butterscotch, and Starburst. Nope. Okay, wait. Marshmallow, Gumdrop, Butterscotch, Starburst. It even says it on the palette. You guys can just take a look at it to see if I was right. So we have 2 glow kits. I did have what's the first one? That Glow. And I think I had there was a deeper version of this. And I had that one for some reason, even though it was too dark for me, and I knew it was too dark for me. I wanted it because that collector mentality. I don't have it anymore. I did get rid of it. I have the Sigma Berry Glow palette, so I still have the insert because I think it's really pretty, even though I normally don't keep them. This is the blush and blush and highlight duo. As you can tell, I have a large amount of pan on that highlight. I really did enjoy it. So it's Sizzle and Berry Love. I did get some use on this as I was using that, but as you can tell, I think I fell in love with the highlighter a little bit more than I did with the blush. I have another NARS palette here. This is that. I'm not even going to try and pronounce it. And this is where I have that duplicate of Rivage. That is the shade right here, which, as you can tell from the packaging, is the shade that I always reached for. Then I have the shade here called, we're just going to show you. I'm going to show you again. That's this palette right here. I do want to start using that one a little bit more too. Then I have the Too Faced Sweet Peach palette, Sweet Peach Glow palette. I used the highlighter a little bit, and I think I used the blush. I had these 2 in a project. I was using a different bronzer, so I never reached for it. I don't know if this bronzer is even like my shade, but I really did like this, and it still smells like peaches. I just got the smell of peaches, and I absolutely love this thing. So I am happy with that. I got that one at Winners, I'm pretty sure. Then from Tarte, I have the Tartiest Clay Blush Palette. And on the inside, it says the Blush Authority, which I think is super cute. This one I had to declutter because it just crumbled. It was a beautiful, bright, corally, hot pink shade. It was so pretty. I was so sad that that was the one that crumbled. I would have been sad if any of them did, because these ones are a lot more neutral and the ones that I would reach for more. As you can see, this one has no embossment in it. So, okay, I'm okay. So that's the one that I always reached for. These two, not as much, but I still really do enjoy them. Yeah, I was just really sad about that one there. And then I have the MAC Hyper Real Glow that I purchased a couple of Christmases ago, I think. So that is these 3 shades right here. So we have Flash and Awe is this first one. The middle one is Rosy Glow. And then the last one here is called Light of the Party. I think I just swatched these. I don't think I've actually used them. But then I have the Jason Wu highlight palette, and I was a little disappointed in this one because it seems like the shine on it was just an overspray, which was super disappointing. It wasn't as like intense as I thought it was going to be because I really do like a high shine highlighter a lot of the time. So this one disappointed me a little bit. But I don't think I've really used the other ones. I should dip into this more just to see how I actually feel about it, but I wasn't super impressed. And then we have a palette which is from Pat McGrath. This is the Divine Blush and Glow Trio in Galactic Sun, but it is now a duo and has been for a few years. This was my Pan That Face palette 22 or 23. I completely finished off the highlighter. I really enjoyed it. I loved using these 2 blushes, but blushes are so hard to use up. So within the year, I obviously made some really good progress on them. The embossments are, for the most part, faded away. I really do like this. I haven't reached for it since, so maybe I should. But you guys have seen how many blushes I have. I got a lot to work through. Then I have this NARS Orgasm Duo. This is a blush and a highlighter. They're just little minis. So I would like to use this up. I do think that this is one palette that I want to completely finish off, really focus in on this blush and highlight. I don't know if it's going to happen this year, but I do want to start to at least try and get some use on this. I just feel like I don't really need it around in my collection. Like, it's not adding anything, but I don't want to get rid of it. Like, I would like to use it up. So I think this is going to be a focus for something at some point. Then from Cover FX, we have a bronzer duo, which I almost showed you guys yesterday. I did, for some reason, include this in my single bronzers, but I also included it in my face palettes. And because it's 2 single pans, it is a duo. I do consider it a palette. So this is what this looks like. I have used this quite a bit. I do feel like I should get back into using it because, like I said, I use my bronzers one at a time. I completely finish them off before I move on to the next. But there's been a couple that I've used, put down, reached for something else. And this is one of them. But I do, like, you can see all of the usage that I have in there, plus all of the powder kick up from the product. But it's really pretty. So I do want to get some more love on that one. Then we have Soft Peach, which I just rolled out of, I don't even know what project anymore. Was it Alice in Wonderland or Beauty Chest? But I used this however many times I wanted to, the 10 uses. This is what it looks like. This is very crumbly on this side, but it's been okay recently, knock on some wood. And then we also have my third one, Pink Dahlia in the blush duo. This one has not been touched at all. And I got all of these at Winners many years ago. And then last but not least, I still have my ABH contour palette in the shade Light, but all that is left in here are the bronzers and the actual contour. The face/highlight shades are all completely gone. So this is all that's left. I also have been contemplating trying to use up one of these next, or like kind of maybe mix these 2 highlighters together a little bit. I'm not quite sure how I want to go about that. And then this is the contour. But yesterday when I was talking about my bronzers, I said that I was looking at using the Bobbi Brown mini bronzer as my next bronzer. So I'm not quite sure what I want to do, but this is all that is left of this palette. And that is it. That is it for today. That was much quicker than yesterday. So I'm looking forward to trying to narrow some of these down. Like I said, that NARS Duo, I don't need it in my collection. It's not adding anything to my collection. A lot of the blushes that I have are all very similar shades. So I do want to try and like knock some out. Singles are nice to knock out because I just feel like I can finish one off and let it go, whereas a palette takes a little bit longer because there's more product in the palette. There's like 2 or 3 different products or more. But I don't have anything besides that NARS one right now that I want to actually like get out of my collection. Oh, I totally missed 2. I did this yesterday too. I still have 2 more. Okay, sorry. The Too Faced Natural Face palette. This is one that I look at and I'm like, this is going to take forever to use. So I have not even dipped into this. It does have 2 highlighters, 2 blushes, and 2 bronzers. Yeah, this bronzer right here is a shimmer bronzer. Probably too dark for me, but these 4 I think I could do okay with. I'm not sure about Honey Bunny. I would like to try that though, because I have enjoyed the Too Faced bronzers in the past. So this is a palette that I would like to eventually get some use on. I've had it in my collection for a couple of years and I've never used it, but the packaging is so pretty. So I don't want to get rid of it. I don't want to use it. But yeah, I think that this is going to take a little bit of time. And this is definitely not one that I'm going to try and completely finish off to get out of my collection. I don't think I'm really going to try and get it out of my collection. I just want to try and show it some love. And then last but not least, I have this mini hourglass. It is the Ambient Edit. And I actually was considering this as my Pan That Face palette for this year until I reached for my Jouer one. So this one may come in next year. I have the blush, the highlight, the bronzer, and the finishing powder. I really do want to start using this as well. I do really like this. I think it's beautiful. You can see I have flattened out part of the highlighter here. I think the only thing I haven't used is the bronzer, but this is something that I do want to really show some love on. So this one and the NARS one are kind of 2 that I want to get a lot of use out of. I'm obviously only bring me down to 22 palettes, but it is something. So this one may be my Pan That Face palette next year. Like I had considered this for quite a lot of last year until I used the Jouer palette, and then I was like, no, this is the palette that I want to use instead. So it's right here. So that's why I'm focusing on this instead of this. But I do think that next year this one might be a very good option, and I think I'm going to really enjoy it and get a lot of use on it and a lot of love, and just finally, like, it's the only hourglass palette that I have. So I'm okay with like not finishing it up, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't use it, so I probably should start. And if that means that I end up finishing it up, then that's okay, because I would rather do that than have it sit in my collection and not be used, hourglass or not. Okay, now that's everything. I had to take a quick look just to make sure that is everything. Those are all of my face palettes. So yeah, besides those 2, I don't really have anything else that's just jumping to mind that I want to completely finish off. Maybe this would be nice. Kind of get this one knocked out, use that blush a little bit more. That highlighter I can probably go through no problem, so that would be really nice. And just get some more use on the blush, and maybe even just hit pan and then eventually try and knock out that blush and get that out of my collection. I have little things here and there. But because a lot of them are quite a few pans in each palette, I do, like I said, it's going to take a lot longer than it is to completely finish off a single. So that's why I tend to focus on those a little bit more, but I really don't need 24 face palettes. So slowly but surely, I will try to knock some of these out of my collection, and hopefully over the next few years, they are going to go down. I really don't feel the need to purchase any face palettes. I really don't think I've even seen any that I'm like, oh my God, I really want this. So that's nice, because I know I have a ton that I can go through and probably find what I'm looking for already in my collection. So we're good there. All right, now we are coming to the end of this video, the end of part 2. So tomorrow is going to be eyeshadow singles, and I am excited to go through these with you guys. I'm looking forward to showing you what I have, where I'm at. But again, all of these numbers are brought in from January 1st. So that's going to mean tomorrow as well. Yeah, and let's just start talking about pan percentages as of tomorrow. So I'm really looking forward to it. It might be slightly off. I'm not the best with math, but it is what it is. And stay tuned if you're looking forward to seeing my eyeshadow singles tomorrow. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all later. Bye.